Good afternoon, my name is James Carver. I'm a British member of the European Parliament for UKIP. I'm UKIP's Foreign and Commonwealth Affairs spokesman, and I'm joined today by some distinguished colleagues from Somaliland, country in the Horn of Africa. It is a country that I've long campaigned in favour of her recognition. But I think before we widen the debate, I'll let my guests introduce themselves. So perhaps you could start introducing yourselves to camera.
And I'm very proud to be here today. My name is Abdirazak Ahmed Farah. I'm the special envoy for Somaliland National Party, European Union and UNESA and NIDA. So I would like to transfer my colleague.
Abdelkader Childe, Member of Parliament and interim chairman of Wadani Party.
I'm the presidential candidate for Wadani Party in 2017 Somaliland elections, and the current speaker of the Parliament as well.
I am Dr. Mohammed Fadal. I am the Foreign Secretary of the Wadani Party.
Fatima Saeed Ibrahim, Foreign Affairs.
Okay, well, I think before we get into greater dialogue, there is one pressing issue which is on the minds of many, many people, not just across the Horn of Africa, but in view of the great work that's been done by Raggy Omar on ITV News, has really brought to attention this terrible, devastating drought, which is wreaking havoc not just across Somaliland and Somalia, but across South Sudan as well. Perhaps you could tell us, Mr. Speaker, a bit more, what really is the current situation in Somaliland on the ground, and how is this drought really affecting people?
Well, in Somaliland there is a severe drought which can be characterized now as a famine. It is the worst drought or famine since 1945, as has been told by the elders in Somaliland. People have been suffering for a long time in this drought, and the majority of the pastoralists, the nomads, have lost almost their livestock. Maybe 90-80% of the livestock has been lost, and now it's the people who are feeling the crunch of the drought. The people started dying now because of different reasons, maybe of diarrhea, lack of nutrition, lack of water, and people need everything now. They need shelter, they need camps, feeding centers. So we came here to appeal to Somaliland community and international community for the assistance of the drought victims in Somaliland. And the drought is widely in the region, not only in Somaliland, it's in Somalia and most of the Horn region at large. So people are in a very destitute situation, very alarming situation, and we appeal to the international community for quick support of these victims.
I think to bring it into context, the figure that's being reported in the Western news is that 10 million animals have now died, which is just an astonishing loss of livestock, especially when you're speaking about the nomadic culture and how people rely on their livestock as well. It really is shocking. The rainy season is due to start soon, but of course the rains have failed for the last 3 years, I understand. So we have to hope and pray. But what I'm urging people to do is get behind, certainly in my country, in the United Kingdom, get behind the Disaster Emergencies Committee campaign and do what they can to support financially and actually raise awareness. I know the Somaliland diaspora within the UK are working very, very hard on that. I was in Cardiff on Saturday and was speaking with a Somalilander, sort of just on a social visit, and we had a long conversation about the situation. And it really is very apparent that the Somaliland diaspora in the United Kingdom have really taken this tragedy to heart and are doing what they can to support their kinsmen.
We have a fundraiser on the 25th of March on Saturday, which we will be inviting all the diaspora to come and to help us fundraise for the drought, to help in the people who are literally dying from thirst, and try and see if we can buy more animals for the ones that have lost their livelihoods.
When will we know whether the rains have succeeded this year?
The rains should be starting at the beginning of this month. We've seen little sprouts of rain in some places, but we still haven't had the proper rainfall that we are waiting for. Inshallah, it should be at the beginning of April and then onwards.
Okay. Well, let's hope April showers, really do come in.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we don't have much time. I want to touch on the issue. Well, not touch. I want to discuss the issue of recognition for Somaliland. It's something people often get bored of me saying so much, and I've been a long-time advocate of Somaliland re-recognition. I call it re-recognition because obviously Somaliland was granted her independence from the United Kingdom back in 1960. Very unusual situation where, having gained independence, you gave it up almost immediately. So I think this is a very different case, and one of the feelings I get from discussing the peculiar situation of Somaliland's identity is, I think it's fair to say, there is concern among certainly other African Union countries with regards to how it may open a door and set a precedent with regards to other parts of Africa. So I don't take that argument, as I don't see that as an argument, as an obstacle, because what I believe is, having had recognition once, there is no reason why re-recognition should not be given. Perhaps you'd like to open up and say a few words on recognition, what it would mean to the Somaliland people, what it will mean to inward investment, what it will mean to the business community.
Yes, I think the Somaliland people have to be commended on building a state from scratch since 1991, a completely destroyed state, establishing a peaceful process, establishing a democratic state, elections, are struggling, are building their lives, and therefore, so far, I think what the Somaliland people have achieved so far has been limited by the lack of international recognition in many respects. The effects the effects of the present drought is that we are not unable to cope with it is one example. The other example is our people are entrepreneurs. They are building their state, they are building their economy, they are building without much or bilateral relationship from the international community. And yet still, if you go to Hargeisa and if you go to Buro and to our country, you see that people are growing and building their lives, and economy and trade is growing, and it's becoming a hub for Horn of Africa, a peaceful hub where people who want to invest can invest. We say that recognition will bring support these people who are helping themselves to really fight poverty and establish a peaceful, democratic, developed state. And so it's very important for us. Despite the lack of recognition, we are still continuing to do our business, to be a responsible partner in the Horn of Africa, a peaceful, responsible partner in the world. And that's where we are in the world also is extremely important. If we are recognized, we could contribute to the peace of the world in that very turbulent region that we are. We have already contributed it, but we will contribute to it.
I think I have nothing to add. Somaliland has been seeking a recognition for a quarter of a century now, and we are grateful to our friends like you who are supporting always our case. And we feel that we have every reason that has to be recognized by Somaliland, by the international community, because we have been a sovereign state in 1960 from Great Britain. We made a unilateral decision to unite with Somalia without any written agreement. And we have the history, we have the agreements. And we have made a referendum in Somaliland. So our people have made their choice. 97% of them have chosen to stay away from Somalia. And we will continue our initiative and our as long as it takes.
Well, you have, if there is a cause you believe in, you have to sort of keep pursuing that, and eventually, some good news. We need some good news in the Horn of Africa, and I believe Somaliland can be that catalyst that really shows the opportunity. I was there in October with Fatima, and it, I came back, and I've got a new name for the country. I call it Smileyland, because everybody is smiling, everybody is very happy, everybody is very optimistic, and just speaking to people. We went to the money market, didn't we? And just a sense of community was very strong, and actually the sense of entrepreneurship. People do want to get on. Somalilanders, from what I've seen, are very proud people. They want to take their opportunity in life, and to actually do what they can for their country. And I think one thing that is good from the campaign for recognition is I think Somalilanders really are sure in their souls that they really do believe in their country, and that is something that's not actually often discussed. Is that when recognition, I believe, will come one day, and when that comes, I think that sense of campaign, that sense of teamwork, that sense of national spirit, I think can only help to actually make you a leading beacon on the Horn of Africa.
Well, I do remind that in our political program, the first pillar in our political program is the recognition of Somaliland.
Yeah.
Lack of recognition is undermining our efforts in more ways than one. Unless and until become part and parcel of the international community, our voice cannot be heard. We are now in a limbo. We are tinkering on our own without much support from the international community. We cannot get access to the international money markets, to the banking system,
and
to IMF.
And of course, with recognition will come the security in international insurance for inward investment, and that is the key. That is the key. If you can give that guarantee of insurance to foreign investors, you will find the investment come in.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the Wadani party has the good manifest for the foreign relation, except for we are really willing to get a recognition, and we have to create that bilateral relation for all the European countries. Instead, the European Union, they are willing, we have to be focusing in AU. But still the Somaliland people and the Somaliland National Party, they are willing, we have to create by the good relation with the international community. So far, the international community, they are dealing with the Somaliland in terms of the development. But in terms of the political, we need to get a recognition and the hope of the people like my age, because I was growing for the civil war. And now I'm 35, I become a diplomat. We are not willing to go back to reunion in Somalia.
No.
But still, our party and the current government, we need to continue the negotiation for the current government in Mogadishu. So I hope the international community, they cannot deny in terms of the security and the strategic place we are, Somaliland.
Geographically,
yes.
yeah.
So there's no way to give up.
We only have a few more minutes, and I really wanted to move on, talk about two other issues. I wanted to talk about the upcoming elections, the presidential elections in November, and I also wanted to talk about the situation with regards to the military base in Berbera. So we only have a few minutes, so perhaps someone could say a few words on those, the situation.
Several postponements of the elections are causing friction in Somaliland itself, and our partners in the international community are worried about the process. And we hope this will be the last extension. We believe that the current government is not willing, and is not a willing partner to move the process forward. And we feel that they are dragging their feet.
And what is the situation with voter registration now?
Voter registration has been finalized. We are waiting for the final list to come out.
Okay.
And after that, we will be handing distribution of the cards, voting cards. But we are not still out of the woods yet.
No.
Still not yet.
No.
out of the
Okay,
woods.
well,
We would like to appeal
Yeah.
to our partners. The democratization process in Somaliland has been a partnership between the international community, especially the European Union and other donor states. We would like the elections delay has created some disappointment with our partners. We appeal to them. The date is fixed on November 13, and we will need all the support that we get for the elections to move forward our democratic process.
And to remain engaged as they were before.
well, I you know, obviously, I guarantee that I will do all I can to, you know, assist. I'm engaged with all political parties. I will do all I can to insist that these elections, you know, go forward when they should. You know, they can't continue to be delayed. The frustration will only grow, and that will not be good for anybody, really. And it's not good. Could we just talk briefly about the situation in Berbera with regards to the issue of the airfield?
Well, I think before I say anything from Berbera base, I think the frustration of our partners and our friends in election delays must not sway them from to be alert, to support the election, the democracy, because without them we can go again into the limbo.
Well, I don't think there is, because there is I don't feel it is an opportunity to be negative. I feel because for various actors recognise the very genuine frustration and real frustration.
Yeah.
So I actually think that is a sign of how healthy the democratic debate is in Somaliland.
Well, regarding the military base in Somaliland, Somaliland has been a peaceful part in former Somalia. It has been peaceful, and people were coming, international community were coming, they were supporting, they were encouraging democratization because it was peaceful. And we are afraid that this military base can put Somaliland into the spotlight of a proxy war, which is not in the national interest of Somaliland. And we do believe that the majority of the public are against this military base, because simply they want to remain a peaceful country in the region. And as a party, we are against any militarization or military bases in Somaliland.
Okay.
I support that, exactly what we believe. Our party has come out strongly, has researched it, has spoken with our Somaliland people, has spoken with the international community, and from all over the diaspora, Somaliland diaspora, despite our party's position, they have expressed it in the democratic societies their aversion to a military base and militarization of Somaliland. What we are a very we are a neutral partner of our neighbors, all across the sea, as well as those we have with land borders. We want to remain that. We want to remain a peaceful, constructive, peace-loving nation in the Horn of Africa. With Yemen, we have no problem. Whichever side, we have a close relationship for a long time. We have interaction with it. There's a small sea that's separating us. We want to remain. Our refugees used to go to them. The refugees are in our country
And
today.
very integrated.
We are very integrated.
Very
Very
integrated.
integrated. We want to remain that way, neutral to that conflict, support the suffering Yemeni people, and not support the militarization of it.
The Somaliland community is a very peaceful community. And at the moment, the diaspora is very upset about the military base. There's been a demonstration by the Somaliland community in London, another one in Sweden, and we have another one coming up in Washington, D.C. And this is all to express that Somaliland is a peaceful country. It's a peaceful part of a warring, in the middle of a warring neighbors, and we want to keep it that way. So the diaspora is showing that they are definitely on 100% against any military base in Somaliland.
We have been victims of a long civil war, and still raw. we remember what happened in our country.
The memory is still there, yeah.
So we don't want that to happen to our neighbors. So we don't want to become involved in that war. It's a civil war. It's devastating the country. It's creating a lot of misery. We don't want to be part of that.
No. Okay.
Period.
There's a big anxiety for the Somaliland people in Berbera. If the military base will be settled in Berbera and the fight will be in the Houthi, will be trouble. Instead, the people of refugees from Yemen, they are living in Hargeisa and Berbera. They can be terrorized when the family they are bombing the military forces in Imara. So we are not willing to involve by any reason. On the other hand, we have seen 22,000 AU based in Mogadishu. They cannot solve the peace.
No.
So we don't impose our country
No.
for any military action.
No. Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It's been a fascinating conversation. All Somalilanders are always welcome.
On behalf of Somaliland people, we thank you very much.
Thank you very much. As I say, all Somalilanders are always welcome. And as long as I'm a member of this institution, I will do all I can on a non-party political basis to support the Somaliland cause. My name's James Carver. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.